Welcome everyone. We are going to do a tier list of all or at least as many of the card shops in Kyoto that I can possibly do. There's going to be a couple missing, I'll go over it, but first things first, I want to show you, I don't know if you guys know what Kyoto actually looks like. So I'll tell you the areas and then we'll go through by area. Hopefully that'll help you kind of visualize in the tier list, and it might make some sense for some of my explanations of why I like something more than the other based on area. So there's going to be 2 or 3 major areas for card shopping, and there's 2 areas that I'm not even including in my list. I didn't look up card shops because I just don't want to go all the way there. And that is Yamashina area. It's really off to the outskirts over here on the side, and down here around Fushimi area. You may have heard of Fushimi Inari. It's that thing with all of the red torii gates. So that's down to the south. Those are both kind of off to the outskirts. They're not in the tier list. Sorry guys. It's just a little out of the way. So major card areas. Just by Toji Temple here you have Kyoto Station area. Lots in this area. And you have what I'm going to call downtown area, which is in Kyoto we would say like Shijo Kawaramachi, Shijo Karasuma, or Nishiki Market area. So that's up, you can see my cursor, yes you can. That's up here, so Kyoto Station here, and then there's kind of a secondary, tertiary area around Sain Station. So there's a couple shops. So there's the areas, so you kind of understand what I'm talking about. And with that said, okay, before I start putting stuff in the tier list, let's go over what each tier means actually. So SS, would go all the time, one of my fave card shops. S, really good shop, there's some reason why I don't want to put in my favorites. A, still recommend you go check it out, not bad. B, probably not worth making a trip for. If you do live here or it's near you, maybe worth just checking out if you're looking for stock you couldn't find your other places. C, it's just underwhelming, wouldn't recommend it. It's not like a scam or anything. And then F is gonna be like they're scamming you basically. Let's start with, since Pokemon said it, vending machine. Okay, so there's vending machines in most of these card shops on the list. Some of them have better vending machines than the random average one you'll find in the street, so I'm just going to talk about random vending machines. Sometimes you just walk down the street and there's a vending machine. I know there's one downtown that has like train tickets and Pokemon cards. Yeah, there's a lot of vending machines. They're not like the ones I've seen in videos from the US where it's like selling packs. You see those occasionally, like sponsored by the Pokemon Center. There's one in Osaka Station, I think. There's a bunch around Tokyo. I don't know if we have one in Kyoto, but when I say vending machines here, I'm talking like they sell random loose cards. They'll usually have a picture of what's in it, what you could win, and I'm going to put it, I think that just those random ones you find, especially in tourist areas and stuff, I gotta put it in F. And I say that knowing that when I pass them by, I still try for them. But yeah, they're a bit rough. Next, just overall kind of thing we have is flea markets. Honestly, flea markets here, kind of like flea markets anywhere, I think. They're definitely like there in Canada, just booths, people around selling stuff. There's probably more old Japanese stuff in the ones here, unsurprisingly. There's sometimes some finds in there that you'd be surprised about, but mostly people know that Pokemon cards are valuable, so you're really not going to find much. In general, I think flea markets are fun and there's lots of other stuff, so if you're into other things, definitely worth going and checking out Pokemon cards also. They don't always have them by any means, so I think I'll put it in B. Less for the cards and more just, you know, flea markets are fun. You're probably not going to get anything great. In the same vein, I'm going to pull up recycle shops. That's just like, you know, used shops. Same as you'd see anywhere. where they're selling like used furniture, used clothes. A couple of them will also have Pokemon cards. They tend to be like thrown in a box and it's just the bulk. So if you're looking for an artist you like or nice art on a common or trying to fill out a Pokedex, it might be nice to check them out. They don't often have Pokemon cards anymore. Again, people just know that they're kind of worth stuff now. They don't really end up there. And I find they're less fun than flea markets unless you're looking for furniture or something. So we're gonna put recycle shops into C. Alright, moving on to other things across the whole country. Pull up my pictures for you now. We're going to look at electronic stores. So electronic stores here, kind of like the electronics section in a big Walmart, I find. So they don't just have electronics, they often have like kitchen stuff. They'll have games, kind of ToysRUs-esque. This is one example, Joshin. They also have Ednyong, Yamada Denki. There's a lot of different stuff there, and they don't sell singles, but they sell packs, which is the opposite of all the ones we've done so far, which probably have no packs. So if you want to go see if they have some packs in store, they're fine. They have a bunch of other stuff, they're kind of fun, so let's put them in B. I don't think I can rate anything above a B that doesn't have kind of a bit of everything, like they don't have singles or anything, so. Moving on, almost the same vein as electronic stores. I don't even have a picture of this open because you guys know it. It's ToysRUs, it's the same. No singles, just packs. Really aimed at kids, so I find it kind of hard to walk in. If you have children, obviously it's like a wonderland for them. And so yeah, it's pretty much the same as electronic store, just kids focused. So I'm gonna put it in B. Brenga says, do you ever worry about fakes in the flea markets? Yeah, Brenga, I would never buy a expensive card in a flea market. If it's a common, honestly, I don't generally think too hard about, oh no, it could be fake. But that's why I wouldn't put it any higher than B either. I would be careful comparing it to what I know is a real card, but I also would go into it just thinking, you know, it could be fake. So, yep, I do worry about them. Same with the recycle shops. Alright, next item on the list we have, I broke the convenience stores up into parts. They all still only sell packs, but they have different features that make me wanted to do them kind of a bit separately, because I'm going to rank two of them higher than the rest, I think. So first is Lawson. If you watch my shorts, I've posted kind of what they look like selling cards. Obviously, it's a massive chain. It's everywhere. They might not all sell them exactly the same. Most of the Lawsons around me have the packs up by checkout, so you can grab them as you buy stuff. I want to rank Lawson's slightly high because the Lawson by me always has really good stock on packs. Like, everyone's sold out and they'll randomly get in some terrestrial, but realistically it is also only packs. That being said, convenience store food hits. It's really good. It's convenient, it's cheap, and it's usually 2 minutes from your house, so you don't have to make a trip like you would to ToysRUs, electronic store, flea markets. So I'm gonna rank them A. With it, you know, I said I wouldn't rank anything higher than B if it didn't have singles, but like, it's a convenience store. What do you want? They're not gonna have singles. Second convenience store. Same as Lawson, basically, except it's 7-Eleven. You guys have 7-Eleven, very different in Japan. They have all the food you can think of. So they have a website where you can actually book some of the new boxes when they come out. So like, there's one for the Team Rocket. You can enter the lottery to try and get some. So I think that's a nice feature that all the other convenience stores don't have. But they always tend to have less stock than Lawson, and they just put their cards out in big boxes at most of them. Not all of them. Some of them you have to ask for them to bring them out, but I feel like people just grab them and throw them around. So I'm gonna rank it about the same as Lawson. We'll put them together. I like the lottery, but everyone enters it, so you never win anyway. But I don't love that they go in boxes. And again, that's not true for all of them. Some of them you have to ask the staff. Same with Lawson. Some of them you have to ask the staff for it. But And then so other convenience stores, like I mentioned Family Mart, there's also Daily Yamazaki, Mini Stop. There are quite a lot of convenience stores. There's like Hokkaido local ones, there's some only in Okinawa I think, but I'm gonna put all of the other ones in B. They still often have packs. I just find they have them less often to me than Lawson and 7-Eleven. And other than Family Mart's chicken, I also like the food and drinks better at the other two. But that could be a hot take, so, you know, don't shoot me. I'm just giving my opinion. Alright, and next one, again, not a specific card shop, it's like everywhere. This is one store, but these are everywhere. It's Geo. It's not Geo, it is Geo. It's written how to pronounce it right under. So Geo is basically like a used and new kind of DVD, CD rental or buying shop. And they also have games, and they'll sell some like Switch consoles and stuff. I've never seen one selling actual cards in the store, but you can do rentals of the new boxes, or not rentals. You can enter the lottery to get new boxes when they come out. It's really annoying to enter, and they don't have very much stock, and they don't sell packs. So it's not a scam. Like they do let you in the lottery to buy them, but I wouldn't go to it unless you make a reservation for that box. So I'm putting it C. We're on to Staya, which is a bookshop, and same deal. They don't really sell cards, but you can enter a lottery for the new cards when they come out. And the books are fun. I'm going to put them lower than Geo because they got rid of manga rentals and book rentals at the place near me, so you have to buy them now. They're just like a regular bookshop with a Starbucks in it. So you go below Geo, but it's still not a scam. You just have to make your reservations. Okay, next one. We're on to more card-specific stuff, but this one is kind of general anime, books, manga, cards, kind of got it all. They don't sell singles at any of the ones I've seen. They sell packs, and sometimes you can make reservations for them. It's called Animate, and you can see the nice, lovely, and I don't know what he's supposed to be depicted as. I think just general, not weeb because it's for Japanese people, but I think we'd call it chunibyo, which is like second year of junior high school disease, where you think you're the main character of like a anime. You scream out attack names. But Animate, again, no singles. They don't even often have packs at the ones near me, but they do. You can get them, you can order them, you can enter the lottery for them. So let's go and see also. Next on the list, BookOff. This is a recycle shop, but it's so special. I put it separate. It's all over the country. There are several in Kyoto. It is amazing. And BookOff has its little mascot here. BookOff sells everything. Used clothes, used books, used cards, and they are varying sizes, but all of the ones I think I've been to in Kyoto have both singles and some packs, and they even do lotteries for some of the new stuff. Obviously different places, different prices. This is the best one. Super Bazaar. Any of the ones that say super in the name, they're bigger. It's a bit harder to get to. It's kind of along the highway, but the prices are way better and there's a lot of stock. But all of the BookOffs in general, not bad. The fact that they have singles and cards, and also you can just go buy clothes and stuff, I do like. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Next on the list is the Pokemon Center. I've represented it with a Pokeball. These are also all around the country. It's not necessarily in one area, but there is only one in Kyoto, and it is in the downtown area. It has all of the Pokemon things you can ever imagine, except not a lot of cards. Obviously they don't sell singles, and they are always sold out of packs. They're really, really popular. It's lined up out the door all of the time, and that's true for most of the ones I've ever been to. But they do have every Pokemon you can imagine. I think there's one of everyone as a stuffed animal. They have t-shirts, they have junk, they have stickers, they have everything. They have a lot of card adjacent things, like play mats, sleeves, but they're very often soloed packs. They do have lotteries for new stuff that comes out. I think how you would rank this is how based on how much you like stuffed animals, because that is a major draw. I do have lots of stuffed animals. I don't think I need more. I think I'm gonna, this maybe a hot take, maybe controversial. I'm gonna put it in A, above the convenience stores, because it's got all the Pokemon stuff, but it's just so busy. You have to line up for so long to get cards. Sorry, Pokemon Center. You go in the A tier. Okay, and then the last general, it's kind of everywhere shop that we're going to talk about it's called Furuhon Ichiba. It just means like used book market. You can see from the pictures they have used books, used manga, and a lot of figures. They have card stuff. They have a bit of everything. They have vending machines. Usually they have singles. There are a few of these within Kyoto. They're all over Japan. They even have online shops to buy cards as well, so you don't have to just go into the store. I really like them. I find their prices very competitive. Their mascot is really cute. You can go book shopping and get your cards. And specifically the one near me, which I'm not going to tell you which one it is, sorry. But seems to have really good odds on all of their vending machines and like original packs. I've pulled similar amounts at other places and got way more heat from this place. I will say they don't have a lot of vintage stuff. So if you're looking for vintage, even looking through the bulk, there's a lot less vintage. But it is really great. I like it better than BookOff, I think, just because you also have the online store to look stuff up. Don't know if I'm gonna make it my very, very favorite. I do really like them. They also do the lotteries for new boxes, but I think we gotta save SS for something really special. So I'm gonna put it in in S tier for the used bookstore with the cutie mascot. And I'm going to bring you to one adjacent card shop. It's called Toreca Park, so Trading Card Park. It is downtown, but it's actually a subsection of this used bookstore, so I'm just kind of putting them together. It had the same prices, same selection, same kind of deal, so I almost thought of grouping them together, but I just wanted to talk about it because it's kind of funny. It's a bit just out of downtown, so it's not too crazy busy. Basically, first floor, trading cards, second floor, anime goods, third floor, Tenga shop. If you don't know what Tenga is, Google it, but let's say toy shop. I'm gonna put it, I would prefer to not go downtown, so I'll put it lower than the BookOff, but it's the same basically. It's just cards, so they don't have the books either, so I guess that does make it lower. But in exchange for books, it has toys. Alright, now we're gonna go into the region, the Kyoto area card shops. I'm gonna start with station area. We'll go by area, so if you want to pick, you can only pick one area to go to, and you want to pick one, you can maybe figure out which shops you like better and go to that area. So we're going to start with the station area with Card Shop Playze. It's a small chain. This is the first one in Kyoto. I know there's a couple in Osaka. It opened quite recently, I think December of 2024, maybe January of 2025. Lots of singles, some stuff other than Pokemon as well, but Pokemon was kind of the main hitter. You have to walk through like a hallway and go up the elevator to see the cards, but that's pretty common. Not good. I'm gonna guess the highest one on this list will look like total trash houses from the outside. Yeah. This one, the outside kind of looks nice, but you do have to walk through this shady hallway and go up the elevator, and it looks nice with these flowers that they give you for opening, but I was there last week and there was like paper on the walls because I guess they're probably renovating the other floors, so maybe accurate because this is a great card shop and it does look questionable. There's a seating area to play stuff, they have some tournaments. I did try some of the vending machines, didn't have much luck, but the singles were well priced. The bulk was 33 yen each, which is pretty standard. Thought the prices were really fair. They did have some vintage stuff. Even in the bulk, it was kind of mixed in. They had some mid-era stuff. They had a promo section. They had a Pikachu section. It wasn't like the most in the world, but I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, you can see the vintage section here. I thought it was a really good selection. The prices were competitive. It is newer to Kyoto, so I hope the prices stay competitive is the only thing. It might just be because it newly opened that it's good now, and I hope that's not the case. But for now, with the selection and the prices they had, I'm going to put it up in SS. I think I would go back to it. And don't tell on me, but there's a Yodobashi camera, which is just a big department store nearby it that you can park your bike for free for 3 hours. So and area wise, all of these are going to be pretty easily accessible because Kyoto Station is like, if you're on a trip to Japan, or if you're in Japan and coming to Kyoto, or even if you live in Kyoto, like most of the trains do go there. So good area. So just kind of around the corner, less than I think it was like a 5-minute walk or so, maybe a little more, depends on your walking speed. There's TorecaZaurus, which is like trading card Saurus. TreCaPital. And it looked it's kind of similar vibe where you have to walk up some stairs to get into it. I think they're shuttered here, but it's right here, the stairs to like walk up and get into this upstairs area. Smaller selection on singles. Definitely much smaller. But yeah, you can see it's a little smaller. Prices were not quite as fair, but they weren't like scamming you. But the cool things about this shop were they had slabs, which is kind of rare for card shops in Japan. Slabs are kind of new. See some slabs here. They had them right out in the front. And they also had, right as you walk in, and this looks way more stocked than when I went, but they had a little display case and they had a bunch of Chinese packs, they had some English stuff, they had some fun like Pokemon adjacent merch and stuff. I thought that was kind of fun. I didn't think the prices were as good, and it was less selection, but I don't think those bring it down enough for me to go below an S tier. I think I'm gonna put it below all of the BookOff used bookstore stuff just because the prices were a little high, but I would go for the Chinese packs maybe, or if I was looking for slabs, comparing prices, wanted to see them in person, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, also station area, so just as accessible, maybe even a little closer than the last one, so a little further for me when I park my bike questionably in the department store, but closer to the station. So on to the next one, and you can see it's still in the stationery because you can see Kyoto Tower right in the reflection on the window. But this used to be called Dragon Star, which is what you can see in the logo here, but now it is called Girafull. The prices are high. They host tournaments, lots of seating, and they have a lot of selection. They have tablets to look up cards that they have in stock, so you don't have to order them in, you can just look them up in the store and the staff will get them for you, which is kind of convenient. The prices aren't like, they're not scamming you, but they're not cheap, so you know, if you want to buy a card online it would probably be cheaper, but here you get to hold it, make sure it's not fake, find the, you know, see the condition for yourself, so a little more, but you know, maybe because you get to touch them, see them in person, it could be worth it for you. They also have non-Pokemon stuff. They have quite a lot of vintage as well, mixed in with the normal stuff. They have vending machines, they have packs. They don't, I believe, when I've been there, sell packs above the retail price. So they'll only have what they have in stock for retail. Some of these shops will sell at a higher price, but I don't think that they do. Good mix of cards. The prices, again, keep it out of SS for me. I do really like the tablet though, it's so convenient. I think I'll put it in S, and I would put it higher, but they sell these illustration rare packs and they sell them for 1,000 yen, and they usually only have like 400 yen in them. And I know it's targeted at tourists because it's quite known in Japan that like the foreigners love the art rares. And I have tried them just to see what they're like. Yeah, I don't love the shops that kind of target tourists with a bit of higher stuff. It was written in big English too, so. But I will put it in S and not SS for the prices and that kind of thing. But it's definitely, if you're looking for something, they're likely to have it, is one thing to think of. Okay, next one, Hobby Station. This is also by Kyoto Station, but it's in Aeon, which is a department store on the other side of the station. You can see the whole shop basically in this picture. It's very small. It's kind of expensive, like maybe just around the same or a little more than Girafull. They have like one vending machine. They have some selection for the size. They do sell packs. Unless you're going to Aeon to shop and want to look at cards, I probably wouldn't make the trip for it. It's just so small, right? There's only like 2 shelves worth of Pokemon stuff, and every time I've gone, they've been sold out of packs. So here's Hobby Station, HBST. I'm gonna put it in B. They do have singles and stuff, so I'll put them above like flea markets for buying cards. But I just thought it was expensive. Actually, no, I'm gonna put them below, just because it's in that area with so many other card shops. It's kind of overpriced and small, so sorry, Hobby Station. That is my thoughts on Hobby Station. Okay, and there's another department store just down the road from Aeon called Avanti. They have a card lab, Cardolabo. So same idea, they got singles. They have a lot of selection, they sell packs, they sell those original bundles as well, but it's in Avanti, which also has, I'm going to tell you, area-wise, this is better than some of the other ones in the station because this has the big Don Quixote, which is a shop you definitely need to come to when you go to Japan. It is a bit crowded, but they just have everything. I will say, again, a little more expensive than the ones I have in SS and S tier, and all of their bundles, I got really annoyed. I went there last week, I bought a bundle where the vintage cards was showing. They showed vintage cards, it was in this section with all of the vintage cards, and then you open up the bundle and only the showing card was vintage and the rest was just regular bulk, and they sold it at 1,500 yen, which was like $12, $11, so that was sad. So I'm docking them points for that. But I will still give them the benefit of being in Avanti, so I'm going to put it above Hobby Station. But yeah, I was peeved at the original packs. Alright. So that's the immediate station area down. Now on to kind of between the station and I don't even know what, it's just kind of around. It's called Video in America, and it's also called, what else is it called? Trading Card Champion, Toreca Champion. And there's gonna be another champion here, so don't get confused. But it's got the fun smiley logo. I thought it was funny. It's called Video in America. It's not the closest to Kyoto Station. Let me show you where it is. So Kyoto Station over here, Video in America here. It's by basically this park called Umekoji Park. but it's pretty good. It has quite a lot of selection. They do lotteries for the new boxes. They've got singles. They also have non-card stuff here as well, like DVDs, videos. That's what DVD rentals are still going strong in Japan. Not like the craziest amount of single selection, but it's not bad. There's not a lot of vintage stuff, but prices aren't crazy. They have some vending machines. I know they do tournaments. There's some seating. They have non-vending machine game things as well, like claw machine to pick up tickets and stuff. Kind of interesting. Don't see those in all of them. They're in some. But price and singles wise, I think, and when I say price for all of these, obviously I can't compare every single card. I'm going kind of off of vibes. I usually pick a few cards that I like and I'm looking for, and I look for them in every shop. So I think we're gonna put Video in America in B, but I will put it at the top of B. Actually, I'll put it at the bottom of A. It's not bad, and it's very quiet because it's out of the way. I will say area-wise, if you're a visitor to Kyoto from Japan or from elsewise, it might be hard to access. But Umekoji Park near it does a flea market on the first Saturday of every month as well, which is very fun. So might be worth going just for that. Alright, in the final stretch, next up is Yellow Submarine. This is a picture of Ichidan Ramen. Why is it a picture of Ichidan Ramen? Because it's basically, you see the elevator right here? You have to go into this alleyway and ride this elevator up to the 4th floor, and that is Yellow Submarine. It's a bit smaller. I definitely wouldn't write home about their single selection. They're a little expensive too. The reason I like Yellow Submarine is because they do a lottery on boxes, and they make you have to come to shop and have a purchase within the time frame to get one of the boxes. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. I think I bought a 300 yen card before and won the lottery to be able to buy a box. But I feel like it really helps with getting the bots out and gives people a better chance. And I really like that. So even though the cards are not like the best, prices aren't crazy, they're not ripping you off, and I like that lottery system. And they also usually have right in here where this guy is looking through cards a small vintage selection. So there's not a lot, but there's some, and I like how they go about their stuff. So I'm gonna put it in S. I'll put it below these guys, I guess. Actually, no, I'm gonna put them. Yeah, I'll put it there. The lottery is really nice, but there is not like the most singles, but worth a trip. It's usually pretty quiet, even though that area is just outrageous. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, from Yellow Submarine, we are in the downtown area. So downtown Kyoto, Shijo area, it's like walking in a lineup to get places sometimes. So I am kind of knocking off points from all of these. Next one, Amenity Dream. It's also downtown. It's kind of in the back by around 1, out of the way, so it's not that busy. Area-wise, I'll give it points. Other than area-wise, I have nothing really to write home about. There's not even really pictures. I don't think it's very popular. There was like 2 showcases of Pokemon cards. I'll give an example on prices. I was somewhere else the same day, saw the Misty Psyduck for 2,900 yen. It was 4,000 yen here, and they were selling some packs at like some raised prices. I will say the boxes were raised in price, but not crazily, so maybe if you're desperately in need of a box, it could be for you. Bulk was just pretty much all new stuff. They had a vintage section, and it was just this like 50 copies of Bill. I wouldn't really recommend it. I think I'll put it in the C tier. I don't love the selling jacked up box prices in stores, but they weren't outrageous. Right, this is in the heart of downtown, right in Teramachi area. We have Card Pro, and this is here to rip off tourists, just so you know. They do have some vintage stuff. They have a vending machine. They have some original pack bundles, like the ones with lots of cards in them. They, last time I went, were selling TorecaTown packs for 2,000 yen a pack, which is crazy because on like even on other shops, in other shops selling them at jacked up prices, it's more like 1,200 yen. Retail is 550, so we're talking almost 4 times the price. All of the cards I noticed in the showcases seemed overpriced to me. They did have some promos I didn't see a lot of places, but it really felt like it was here to rip off tourists. I would not recommend it. I would put it, yeah, I'm gonna put it an F. I think it's kind of a scam, to be honest. That could just be my opinion. Maybe I went on a bad time, but it felt like it was there to get tourists to buy cards. Just around the corner from that, still a little overpriced, still in the same area, much more reasonable. Like this Chicoria card in the picture, this is from a couple months ago, but I've seen this for similar prices. And they sell some stuffed animals as well. It's mostly cards. There's not the most selection. Sometimes they have little fun lotteries out in the front where you can win stuff. Usually you don't, but it's kind of cute. This used to also be a Dragostar, and now it is CardFox. So I don't know if they just rebranded, but the cards, they're like a little overpriced, but for being just around the corner in the most touristy part of Kyoto, I think they're doing pretty well. They didn't have a logo because this is like the only one. I don't think it's a chain. You're gonna be in this area if you're a tourist in Kyoto. If you live here, you're not gonna be in this area unless you are shopping or showing people around. So I'm gonna put it right in the middle of B. I'm torn on these levels. I'll put it above these two because I just don't want to go to Card Lab or Hobby Station really. So I don't think it's a scam. I wouldn't say definitely go, but they do have some cute non-card stuff as well. Some stuffed animals, some keychains, so kind of cute. Alright, I'm really excited to tell you about this one because I just went for the first time this week for looking for a card for my Gen 2 challenge. It is smaller, but I love this shop. It looks from the front like they're only gonna have figures, then you go in the back and there's not the most cases, but they're so stocked for what they are. Just like they're jam-packed. You can see in this video there's boxes of vintage stuff that you can sort through. I sat at the table and I sorted through all of the bulk. I just thought for these, that's the total amount of their showcases. I thought they crammed so much in. The prices were super fair. They had slabs, which again is rare for Japan. Right here, it's blurry, but those are slabs. They had boxes. Don't buy their boxes. Boxes way overpriced. Go anywhere else to buy their boxes. They didn't have any packs really, but for singles, definitely worth the trip, especially if you're looking for vintage. One thing I like about this area, let me see if I can show you the area now that we've looked at the pictures. This is in Gyeong. So all these other ones, I'm saying downtown area because it's nearby. This is where we've been looking, this area over here. This is across the water. This bridge crossing, people crazy. Once you get here, nobody. So relaxing. I walked in, I looked through singles for a half hour and nobody came in. It was great. I found, I think, 12 cards for my Komiya collection there. I don't have a logo for it, but they also have an online shop, which I haven't had a chance to look into, which I really liked. And even though they didn't really have any pack selection when I went, the singles were so good. I'm gonna put them in SS for singles. Honestly, packs are so sold out everywhere here. If you want packs, just go to the convenience stores. And if you want singles, go to the places on the SS S tier, I think. Although I will say that this one in S tier, Furuhon Ichiba used bookstore, does have good pack selection. So, Champion down, we're almost through the list. We're in the downtown area, and we're into, if you've seen my short on this one, people love the look of this one. It's Mandarake. It's a big chain. I have it in the downtown area because there's only one in Kyoto. It's nuts. It's not just cards, it's every collectible thing you can ever think of. They have Barbies, they have Gundams, they have magazines, they have Daruma, they have coins, literally everything. The entryway looks like this. It's fun. They have figures, they have bikes, they have so much, and it looks like when you're looking in the shelves like there's not the most card selection, because they're not all up on the display, but they basically have some of the big hitters on display, and then they put the rest in binders, and they had a lot of vintage in the binders. They actually had less new stuff, but they did have some, and it's just so fun. So I'm gonna put it in SS as well. Mandarake has everything. Okay. Last one in the downtown area. This one is in an Edion, so it's an electronics shop, but it's specifically a card shop. It has a good amount of selection, and they also had the tablets. They're made for me. The iPad kid, they had a tablet. It's right here. You can't really see it, but they had the tablets to look up all of the selection they had in stock. I will say they had less in stock on the tablet than they did in the other places I've noted have tablets. Yeah, it's in this big department store in Edion on like the 6th floor. So some showcases, some packs. They had a good amount in stock actually in packs. Like they had Terrasso when no one else did, so that was fun. This says TreCapital, by the way, trading card capital. So good stock on packs, single price, not outrageous, not as much selection as for singles as these ones in the top. I do really like the tablet, but all of the cards I looked up on the tablet weren't in stock, which is sad. So I think I'm gonna put it right here. Maybe I'm biased because every time I go to Furuichi I get good pulls in the original packs, but I'm dinging them because it is right on the corner of the busiest street downtown and nothing in their tablet was in stock, even though they had a tablet. I did like the tablet. Okay, downtown done. Last two are in the signing area, kind of. And one is in Kyoto Family, and one is right by Signing Station. So this is Cardbox. It looks really small, and then around the corner there's actually a huge seating area. Looks like this. But the cards are not the most selection. They do have a vending machine. It seems to have terrible odds. I've got so many cards from it, and I never seem to hit anything. They don't really have vintage. They do have a lot of bulk. Their prices are pretty normal. This is the one you'll see in my shorts that I've looked up cards on twice now, and they do seem to have quite good odds, quite good stock on their tablet selection for cards you're looking up. So that's pretty fun. If you're looking for a specific card, they may have it in the back, but they don't have a lot out in their showcases. Just kind of like pretty much all of the stuff in the showcases is modern, basically, with some slightly older stuff out. But if you do look it up on the tablet, they might have it, so that's kind of fun. Not like the cheapest, not the most expensive, and they do seem to have kind of odds on the vending machine. Their bundle packs with like quite a lot of cards in them seem to have pretty good stuff in them. If you watch my last stream, opened a Deoxys one up that had kind of like some nice things in it. So I think I'm gonna put it right at the top of S. Also, I get annoyed by their lottery system for getting new boxes because they don't announce it anywhere, and I always miss it. Alright, final one. Signing Station area. TorecaTown, trading card town. It actually has really bad reviews on Google. It's like 2 point something. It's just this kind of small building next to a restaurant, and there's seating on the top floor, and the bottom floor is just cards. It has bad ratings saying the staff is mean, but honestly, I'm looking at all of these from a buying perspective. If I was looking at it from a selling perspective, it might be a lot different because some of them do offer you like crazy low prices on your cards when you try to sell them. So I can see how that would annoy people. They do offer cards that are slightly damaged at a discount rate. The regular prices are pretty normal. No tablets, kind of smaller stock, but just, I found it just average prices, average selection, not downtown, so it might be harder for you to get to, but not downtown is nice if you don't like the crowds. Sign is not that out of the way, so I think I'm gonna put it right in the middle-ish, in A tier at the bottom. They might not have what you're looking for. They did have some bulk selection, but yeah, not something to avoid for sure. And then I did want to mention Card Shop Wiz and Game Shop Bricks. And this is mostly a magic shop. They used to have Pokemon cards, I think, but now they don't, so I didn't put in the list. They do have a couple boxes, but... And Card Shop Wiz near Kyoto Station was too jam-packed when I went to go inside, so I've never been inside, so I can't rate it. It's basically like below a McDonald's right outside Kyoto Station, so it's always too busy for me to go to. So that is that. Really, some of these like flea markets should probably go down in honorable mention because they don't really have cards. They're just fun to go to, realistically, after going through it. Flea markets and recycle shops go to honorable mention because we don't know they'll have them, but they're fun to go to and look through them. And there is the Kyoto Ultimate Card Shop tier list. If you come here, if you live here, definitely check out Card Shop Playze, Champion, and Mandarake. And I definitely recommend all of these in S tier as well. I am a sucker for Furuhon, the used bookstore, used book market, and BookOff is always a fun time. And that's the tier list. If you guys ever come to Kyoto, you'll know where to go. Okay, editing me here to give you the final breakdown, but SS tier was Playze, Champion, and Mandarake. In the S tier, we have CardFox, Furuhon or used book market, TorecaTown, BookOff, Toreca Park, TorecaZaurus, Girafull, and Yellow Submarine. A tier was the Pokemon Center, Lawson and 7-Eleven, Video in America, and TreCapital. And I will put all of the others down in the description. And in case you want to pick just one place that you must visit, I would say if you're coming as a tourist, go to Mandarake. It's got so much fun stuff. If you're coming from outside of Kyoto but within Japan, I'd recommend hitting up Champion as well as Playze and Furuhon if you're able to get there. And if you live in Kyoto, same places as someone visiting from within Japan, except you probably have a way to get around, so definitely hit up that BookOff on Route 1. Thanks so much for watching, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. See you next time.